Mr. President, I have the distinct honor to present Ferid Murad, recipient of the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine, a groundbreaking researcher and accomplished educator, for the degree of Doctor of Science.
Ferid Murad, through your insightful research and discovery in the medical field, you have distinguished yourself and brought honor to your alma mater. Your persistent research on the role of nitric oxide as a signaling molecule led to significant new knowledge of how the cardiovascular system functions and led to the development of new medical drugs, as well as a vast potential for new treatments for numerous diseases. For your work, you were awarded one of the most prestigious international recognition, the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. You have excelled as a leader and entrepreneur, as a vice president of pharmaceutical research and development for Abbott Laboratories, and a founder, president, and chief executive officer of a biotechnical company, Molecular Geriatrics Corporation. It is noteworthy that you have continued your commitment to teaching and research in an academic setting as you share your extensive knowledge and experience as a professor and chair of the Department of Integrative Biology and Pharmacology at the University of Texas, Houston Medical School. It's upon the recommendation of the faculty that the Board of Trustees has authorized me to confer upon you, Ferid Murad, the honorary degree of Doctor of Science. As a symbol thereof, I invest you with this hood and hand you this diploma bearing the Great Seal of the Corporation and the signatures of the proper officials.
Well, thank you, President Bottoms and the Board of Trustees for the opportunity to return to DePauw and receive this honorary degree. This is particularly exciting to me as a DePauw alumnus and an opportunity to share the stage with such prominent honorary degree recipients. This is the first honorary degree, and I've received a number, in which my family are also attending, most of them anyway. With 5 children and 9 grandchildren and their spouses, we have quite a flock. But 8 of the 21 of us are here today. I want to congratulate the graduates and their families. I'm sure that your parents are particularly delighted that you're graduating, because their disposable income now will increase very substantially. And I can say that as a father with 4 of my 5 children having gone to private colleges. DePauw provided me with a very broad liberal arts background and an excellent education in pre-medical sciences as well as chemistry. Many of my professors at DePauw became mentors and role models. And also, as with many DePauw students, it also provided me an opportunity to meet my wife, Carol Leopold Murad, in the junior year of my DePauw period. She's been very supportive, very patient, because after leaving DePauw, we both got married, and I then engaged in 12 more years of postgraduate education. And by the time I finished my training, we had our 5 children. I was prepared to do more training when a professor and another mentor at another institution who I called to go train with said, "Fred, time for you to go get a job with all your kids so you can take care of it." I knew when I was a youngster, perhaps 10 or 11 years old, that I wanted to go to medical school for some reason, and I'm not sure why. But fortunately, DePauw provided a rector's scholarship and the opportunity for me to get started to do that. With the scholarship, waiting tables at the Kappa House, lab assistantships with Dr. Fuller, who is a professor in the biology department and also in embryology, a couple of jobs each summer, it was possible for me to get through undergraduate school with very little debt. I felt very fortunate. After finishing, I learned about a program introduced to me by Dr. Forrest Fuller, who's here today, a new program that was beginning in Cleveland, Case Western Reserve University, for 7 years of training for an MD PhD. He recognized that I liked chemistry, that I enjoyed research, but I really enjoyed medicine, and this would permit me the opportunity to combine all of this. And I joined this new program, the first in the country. Today there are very common programs all over the country, but they provided a nice scholarship and an opportunity to go through this program to become a physician as well as a physician scientist. My parents were disappointed when I decided to go become a physician scientist. They were hoping that I would return to my hometown, Whiting, Indiana, to be a doctor. They recognized that we were leaving home. I wouldn't go back, but rarely to visit. And I told them that if I were very lucky, perhaps my research would influence the lives of more people than I could ever take care of in my hometown. And I can honestly say that I've been lucky enough that that's been the case. My research has influenced the lives of millions of people, and I hope millions more in the future. And that's very rewarding, very exciting. The world has changed very dramatically since I left DePauw, and you can be assured that the same will happen to each of you. You can't predict where those changes will come from and what they will be. You can anticipate some, but certainly not all of them. Since I've left, there have been major advances in space travel, to name a few, and computers and telecommunications and therapy for lots and lots of diseases. Who would have believed we would clone the whole human genome and use that information to treat a lot of diseases? Within the next couple of decades, stem cells are going to be used to regenerate most tissues in the body. Organ transplantation will become passé. We'll engineer those cells to deliver genes to take care of all those genetic mutations and deficiencies to treat all kinds of diseases. We'll selectively, from your gene profile, when you go to your doctor and get a swab from your mouth or a blood sample, they will customize your therapy and drug therapy based on your disease. They'll treat one hypertensive patient one way and another way based on your genetic composition. The information that has come out of the Genome Project has already been used to diagnose the genetic predisposition of all sorts of patients with hypertension and cardiovascular disease and stroke and aneurysms and cancers, and that's going to expand remarkably in the future. I'm confident that DePauw has also prepared you for the expected and unexpected changes that you're going to encounter in your careers that are going to influence your lifestyle, the quality of your lives. One of the things you need to do is be very optimistic when these changes come along. You've got to do the best with what you have and what you can do and what you love to do. I've been very fortunate that I love doing what I do. I love to get up in the morning and go to work. I like to ask a question that's never been asked before, get the answer, and be the only person in the world with the answer to that question. And hopefully, if I'm lucky, it's an important question. That's been the case a few times, but it can't happen consistently. I can tell you it's very exhilarating and rewarding. Be passionate. You've heard that from the coach. Be patient. Be determined about your career choices, whatever they are. Don't be afraid to take risks. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Learn by them. Most importantly, do whatever you can in the careers that you choose and do the best that you can. Leave a big footprint behind that helps others and enhances their quality of life.